Let me tell you something up front. Life isn't kind, it's not fair, and it sure as hell isn't forgiving. It's a ruthless, unrelenting storm that doesn't care who you are, where you come from, or how much you've already endured. The world doesn't hand out mercy. It doesn't soften its blows. And if you're looking for a place to hide, somewhere safe to escape, you're not going to find it. Not here. The truth is simple and brutal. Life is suffering. Life is pain. People are born, they struggle, and they pass on. And in between those moments, they're tested, relentlessly. If you've been chewed up and spit out by this world, if you've felt the cold steel of betrayal or the empty ache of loss, I'm here to tell you something you already know. You're not alone. But don't mistake that for sympathy. Don't look to me for sugar-coated words or empty reassurances, because that's not what this is about. This is about the fight, the unyielding battle that every single one of us faces, day in and day out. I've been there, in that pit where every breath feels like a war, where getting out of bed feels like lifting a mountain. I've seen good people crumble, watched dreams turn to dust, and stood helpless as life stripped away everything that mattered. Friends lost, family gone, hope buried under an avalanche of despair. So don't think for a second that you're the only one fighting demons. But here's the thing. Even in the depths of that darkness, even when the weight of it all threatens to crush you, there's something you've got to hold on to. Something small, something fragile, but something real. Life isn't just pain. It's about finding a reason to endure it. And don't roll your eyes at me. I'm not talking about some grand sweeping purpose. I'm not talking about saving the world or changing humanity. I'm talking about something real, personal. Maybe it's your dream. Maybe it's a person. Maybe it's just the simple act of proving to yourself that you can stand back up one more time. Whatever it is, you've got to find it. Because without it, the world will swallow you whole. Let me tell you a story. There was a time when I didn't think I could go on. When the nights were so long and the silence so deafening, I thought I'd lose my mind. I'd stare at the ceiling, asking questions that had no answers. Why me? Why now? What's the point of all this? And you know what? Sometimes there isn't a point. Sometimes life just is. It's messy and chaotic and cruel, and it doesn't care about your plans. But here's the truth no one tells you. The fight isn't about understanding the why. It's about finding the strength to face it anyway. To stare into the void and say, not today, not now, not ever. It's about refusing to let the darkness win. Life's going to knock you down, again and again. That's a guarantee. And every time it does, you'll have a choice. You can stay down, let it win, let it break you. Or you can get up. Not because it's easy, not because it's fair, but because there's fire inside you that refuses to be extinguished. A stubborn, unyielding spark that screams, I'm not done yet. Don't let this world have the last word. Don't give it the satisfaction of breaking you. Because if you let it, it will. It'll grind you into the ground and leave you there. But if you fight back, if you stand tall, you take that power away. You take back control. Look around you. The world is full of people carrying their own scars, their own burdens. Some wear them openly, others hide them behind smiles and distractions. But make no mistake. We all bleed, we all break, and we all have to find our way through the darkness. That's the bond we share. That's the unspoken truth no one wants to admit. But there's strength in that, in knowing you're not alone, in knowing that even in your weakest moments there are others fighting the same fight. A brotherhood of survivors, a kinship forged in suffering. I had a friend once, a good man with a heart too big for this world. He fought battles most couldn't imagine and bore burdens that would crush anyone else. But he had his demons, and one night he looked at me and said, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And no matter what I said, no matter how hard I tried, he gave up. It broke me, watching someone so strong, so full of life, crumble under the weight of it all. But it also taught me something. Giving up is easy. It's the path of least resistance. But it's not the path of the warrior. The warrior's path is hard. It's brutal. But it's also the path that leads to something greater. Redemption, purpose, strength. When you feel like you can't go on, when the world is pressing down on you and every step feels impossible, remember this. You have a fire inside you. A fire that's carried you this far. It's what's going to carry you further. Feed that fire. Protect it. Nurture it. Because as long as it burns, you've got a chance. And sometimes, that's all you need. You don't have to win every battle. You don't have to be happy all the time, or even most of the time. But you do have to keep moving. Keep pushing. Keep fighting. Find those small moments of peace. A sunrise. A kind word. The sound of rain. Whatever it is, hold on to it. Let it remind you why you're still here. You're stronger than you think. Stronger than you know. And no matter how many times life knocks you down, you've got the strength to get back up. The world can't take that from you. That's yours. Own it. Embrace it. Let it fuel you. Because as long as your heart is beating, as long as there's breath in your lungs, you've got a chance to write your own story. A story of resilience, of strength, of defiance in the face of the impossible. A story worth telling. So stand up, dust yourself off, and keep fighting. Because you're a warrior, and warriors don't quit. Listen. Life doesn't get easier. The struggles you face today might not be the last, and they might not be the hardest. But here's the secret no one tells you. It's not supposed to be easy. Strength isn't forged in comfort. Resilience isn't born from convenience. Every time you stumble, every time you fall, life is testing you, pushing you to see how far you're willing to go, how much you're willing to endure. And the answer? As far as it takes. The warrior doesn't run from the storm. They walk straight into it. With every step, they remind the world that they're still here, still fighting. Their scars are not marks of shame, but badges of survival. Evidence that they faced what tried to break them and came out stronger. But don't mistake this path for blind bravery. True warriors know fear. They feel it, taste it, and let it seep into their bones. But they also learn to master it. They use fear as a teacher, a motivator. Fear whispers, "You can't do this," and the warrior replies, "Watch me." Here's something you need to drill into your mind. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. Every warrior has faced defeat, has felt the crushing weight of falling short. But the difference between a quitter and a warrior is what happens next. When a quitter fails, they give up. They let failure define them, consume them. But a warrior gets up. They analyze their mistakes, learn from them, and come back stronger. Because failure is not the end. It's a beginning. It's a chance to grow, to adapt, to prove that you're capable of more than you thought. People often admire the strength of a warrior, but forget to acknowledge the pain it took to build it. Strength isn't given, it's earned. Earned through tears, sweat, and an iron will that refuses to bow, even in the face of overwhelming odds. This journey isn't glamorous, it's gritty, it's messy, but it's real. Every time life beats you down, every time you feel like you've hit rock bottom, remember this. Rock bottom isn't the end. It's the foundation, the solid ground from which you rise, the place where excuses die and resilience is born. From there, the only way is up. So, fight. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Not because you're guaranteed to win, but because the fight itself is what makes you a warrior. And warriors don't quit. That's all. I'm out. By the way, if you want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Until next time.